Ayo, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Alvin MB10, aka AMR10, and what I've got for you today is some more NBA 2K25 next gen. Now, as you can see by the title, thumbnail, and what's on the screen for you today, the build that I have for you happens to be the best Jayson Tatum build out there. Now, I am making this after having just witnessed the Boston Celtics beat the Nuggets in back-to-back games to start the preseason, so I figured why not take this time out to make what I think is the best JT build. Now, as you know, right-handed, jersey number 0 for Jayson Tatum, who is the starting small forward for the Boston Celtics. As we said, small forward comes in at about 6'8" while weighing about 210 pounds. And then on the wingspan side of things, we decrease this down to about 6'11". Now, before we get into the skill breakdown for this build, as per usual, I do gotta say, if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more content like this, do me a favor, go ahead and hit that like button down below. We are trying to get at least 15 likes on this video. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn post notifications on. And lastly but not least, do me a favor, down below in the comment section, tell me any other possible builds you may want to see, as well as any other possible videos you may want to see us post on the channel, because yeah, it's been so long since I've really posted, but now that I've finished with a bunch of stuff I needed to finish with, I might be posting a lot more over the next few weeks. Now, with any Jayson Tatum build, the very first thing you're going to start with is the three-point shooting. For those of you who don't know JT's shot chart, he chucks up a lot more threes than any other shot he takes. Actually, that's a lie. Probably a lot more layups than threes. We'll have to check it. But I do know he shoots a lot more threes than middies, which is why we decided to go with an 85 when it came to the three. We put the mid-range up to about an 87, which was highly inspired by the fact that we just wanted to get it at a decent enough clip to shoot out the post, as well as get some of the post shooting badges. But also because we do manage to get, of course, silver shifty shooter, silver set shot specialist, and silver deadeye, with the shifty shooter being inspired by the fact that we needed to improve the agility on the build by pushing this all the way up to an 80. Now, as we put the agility up to an 80, which allows us to get, of course, shifty shooter, we also then did put the speed up to an 80, because I've been playing this game for a bit this year, and the thing I'll tell you is this: as I promised you off the descriptions, speed deals with how fast you can react running back and forth. However, agility is what affects, as it says, your lateral quickness, so your ability to move in short bursts and move laterally. So if you want to be good defensively as well as offensively, you do need to have a high agility, because if you don't, trust me, that speed is not going to save you in the ways you think it will. Now, to round up the shooting, we decided to go with the 73 on the free throw just because we did want the bare minimum, plus it doesn't really affect too much. As I've noticed in this game, you can be slightly early, slightly late, you will still make your free throw, so you don't need to have a free throw when going into the Pro-Am, Rec, or generally anywhere. Now, the next part of his game that we're going to focus on is going to be the playmaking side of things, because in my personal opinion, Jayson Tatum falls into that Paul George sort of build, where it's like you're so shifty that we do have to respect your ability to handle the ball because you can't cross people up. Hence why we maxed it all the way out in 86, meaning that we get silver ankle assassin, handles for days, and unpluckable. And then the next thing we did was improve the pass accuracy up to about a 78, because we wanted to get that versatile visionary at least a bronze. I wasn't too worried about bailout, just because, again, if you find yourself in a situation where you're having to bail it out, you might want to second guess what the hell you were doing. And then speed with ball wise went all the way up to about a 75, which of course means that we get that silver lightning launch. Did not bother to push this any further, just because, yeah, it might improve the build a little bit, but it'll take away too much in the fact that we won't be able to get gold lightning launch, so I don't really see the need to really push it out there. Now, fortunately, the build does come with all forms of pro contact dunks. However, you do not get elites. Main reason being, it was too many points to put on one attribute, especially with how versatile the build is. So we went with an 89 when it came to the drive and dunk, rounded it up with an 80 when it came to the vertical, and then we managed to put the strength up to about a 60, which of course means that you managed to get some of the physical badges in strong handle and physical finisher. And with an 89 on the vertical, of course, you do manage to get silver posterizer as well as Hall of Fame aerial wizard to pair up with the contact dunks. Now, to round up the finishing, we decided to go with a 72 on the close shot, 72 on the driving layup, and then the standing dunk we left as it was, affected by pushing it up to a 52. And then we moved the post control all the way up to about a 77, because it does mean, firstly, we get silver post fade phenom, silver unpluckable, which came from the ball handle, bronze hook specialist, which really and truly as a small forward I don't think you need too tough, but we do get silver post up poet, which raises the chances of faking out or getting by the defender and making shots when performing moves in the post. Anyone who's watched JT play will know sometimes he does go into the post, and when he does, he's not strong enough to back people down too much, but he's quick enough to really face up and get by them, or just spin out the post and manage to get to a spot. Now, that rounds up the offensive side of the build. As you can see, looking at it just off the rip, you can see how the build looks quite nice in my opinion. Now, defensively, this is where the build also stands out, because it is a two-way in that it firstly starts off with an 85 on the perimeter defense. Sorry, got my words messed up. On the perimeter defense, which means you get silver challenger, silver on-ball menace, pick dodger, and of course, gold off-ball pest. Steal wise, we push this up to a 79, which means that we get both silver glove and silver interceptor. When it comes to the block, we push this up to a 78. This was part of the reason we moved the vertical up to an 80, because it does mean that we get that silver high flying denier. And then rounding it up with the interior defense, decided to put this up to a 70, which of course means that we get paint patroller at least bronze with the gold off-ball pest. Now, the remaining points we do have, we're just going to push the defensive rebound up to a 58 and the offensive up to about a 41. Now, I wish I could put higher rebounding stats on this build, but being truthfully honest with you, if you are playing in the rec, as long as there's a center, as a small forward, you're never going to out-rebound him. I've learned this the hard way, because with the chosen one build that I use the most, it really gets out-rebounded in every situation, and I basically have to beg for boards. If we're playing 5s, if we're playing 3s, I have a better chance, unless, of course, there's someone like a power forward center on the floor as well, in which case they might beat me to it. Now, takeover-wise, the build does get above the rim, fearless focus, make it rain, mirror, offensive artist, spot-up shooter, 3-and-D, slice, mixtape, midi maestro, fluid shooter, and driver. In my personal opinion, if you really wanted the JT type build, you would go with fluid shooter, which, as it says, enhances standstill perimeter shooting and boosts the ability to get open, because again, that is what JT is known for. Either that, or you can go with midi maestro or mixtape if you really just want to be shifty with it. But yeah, this is my take on the best Jayson Tatum build. Now, if you look at the shades of, we do manage to get a Celtic, but it ain't JT. We get Paul George, the former Clipper, Corey Maggette, and Jaylen Brown. Now, in my personal opinion, I know why it went Jaylen Brown over JT, mainly because of the fact of how high the defensive stats on the build are, because for some reason the game has it that Jayson Tatum cannot play defense like that. Corey Maggette makes a whole lot of sense. He is a two-way, two-level shot creator, in my personal opinion. His three-point shooting was horrific. And then Paul George is always going to pop up on the two-way, three-level shot creator, because the build is basically named after him. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, which if you did, don't forget to do me a favor, go and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and you ain't done so yet, do me a favor, go and hit that subscribe button and turn post notifications on. Down below in the comment section, let me know what you think about the build. Is there anything else you want to see us post? And yeah, I'm happy to be back. Hopefully it's for a long time and not a short time. I'll catch you in a bit. Deuces.